Well, as the Gillard government plumbs new depths in the opinion polls, some are even writing off the fate of the Labor Party, pointing to the desertion of voters to the Greens on one side and the Liberals on the other, and saying that Labor is becoming a narrower and narrower base. Now, it may be premature to write off the Labor Party, but it is true that there is a crisis when it comes to the party's membership. The membership numbers have been steadily falling for about, well, a decade at least. In an effort to broaden its appeal, re-engage with the community and hopefully improve its membership base, the Labor Party is about to experiment an American-style open primary pre-selection contest for the first time in Australia. It's happening in the Sydney City Council election for Lord Mayor there. About 5 candidates have put up their names for the Labor Party nomination, and it's now over to the community to decide who should go forward as the Labor candidate to try and knock off Sydney Lord Mayor Clover Moore. Well, to tell us more about it and how this is going to work and whether it will work, New South Wales Labor leader John Robertson joins me now. Thanks for your time. What's wrong with the current system of rank-and-file pre-selections?
Well, at the last election in New South Wales, David, we were sent a very powerful message from the people of New South Wales. About 3 months after that, we had our first state conference. And there was a decision taken there following a review that was conducted of the election campaign that a series of reforms ought to be put in place, one of them which was to trial primaries. It's an opportunity for us to go out and have candidates selected by a wider range of the community before they actually stand for election. So it's an exciting time for the Labor Party because this is new. It's the first time there's been anything conducted like this by Labor in Australia. So I'm very excited by this. I'll be very keen to see how the results go and how many people take the opportunity to participate.
Well, is part of the problem the sort of candidates that are selected under the current rank-and-file pre-selection process, that you end up with too many union officials or former union officials like yourself filling the ranks of the parliamentary team?
No, this is about recognising that we need to engage the wider community as part of the selection process for our candidates. We've made a decision that we'll also do it for 5 seats in the lead up to the 2015 state election as well. This will allow us to see how this works, how many people participate, and the sorts of things we need to refine as we go forward in this process.
But do you think it's going to change the sort of candidate that ends up getting the nod?
I think it changes the way we select our candidates because it becomes a debate about ideas, and it's an opportunity to engage the community much earlier in the election process than we otherwise would through our normal processes. This will be a ballot paper will be sent to everybody in the City of Sydney, and the ballot itself will be 50% of residents and 50% of party members who will determine who the final candidate will be for the City of Sydney Lord Mayoralty.
All right, so what's the point of being a Labor Party member then? How is this going to encourage someone to sign up and pay their dues if they don't have to be a member to actually take part?
Well, there are other benefits of being a Labor Party member, not simply pre-selection processes. This is an acknowledgement on our part that we need to do more to engage people in the community, but people who are in the party will still get access to a whole series of other things that people who aren't in the party won't. Being a Labor Party member isn't just about pre-selecting candidates, it's about policy development, it's about participation in your local community and those sorts of things.
Now, how will you judge whether this has worked or not? Will it depend on if you actually win the election and Labor knocks off Clover Moore? Well, if you don't do that, will this have been a failure?
This will be measured as a success based on the number of people who participate in the actual voting process. We've got 5 great candidates and an opportunity for people in the wider community to select our candidates. We need to do that. We think that's an important part of the process. Ultimately, the success is measured on how many people take the opportunity to participate.
Now, if I can shift topic to the Craig Thomson saga, which certainly is hurting Labor and the union movement badly at the moment. Did you watch his interview with Laurie Oakes on the weekend, and did you believe what he said?
I've seen brief reports on it. I think Paul Howes covered it off best when he said it just doesn't pass the believability test.
So you don't buy his line that he was set up?
I just can't see that anybody's buying that line other than maybe Craig Thomson.
And are you annoyed that the Labor Party were footing his legal bills for so long?
Well, it's frustrating that was the case. Certainly, I was unaware of that until I saw the media reports. I think it just goes to why this sad and sorry saga continues to dog the Labor Party.
Hang on, you were unaware of that until you saw it in the media?
That's right.
How can that be if you're the Labor Party leader there in New South Wales and it was the New South Wales branch footing the bill?
Well, I'm the parliamentary leader. I don't run the administrative side of the Labor Party. That's a decision that's done by others. My focus is on the parliamentary wing, and that's, as I say, that's why I only found out about that when I saw the media reports.
Do you think you need a better handle on how the party's funds are being used if you agree that what he's saying is completely unbelievable?
Well, I think there's a whole series of things that have occurred in this sad and sorry saga that people would have preferred had been dealt with differently, me included. It is something that we need to take on board.
All right, New South Wales Labor leader John Robertson, thanks for that.
Thanks, David.